Naomi Suzanne from Naomi's Home Health. So what happens when we have stored or trapped emotions in our body? Now, from my experience, my personal experience, but also working with other people and having lots of people in my thyroid group, the emotional part of healing, that segment of healing, the mental part, but mostly the emotional, is the very, very last thing that we tap into, if people tap into it at all, because it's really hard to dive into, because we know so little about it as a society. Unless you are trained in it or you study it or you look into it, we're not taught as kids in school to regulate emotions properly, or what happens when you don't regulate your emotions, what happens as you get older. We're very much taught about the physical, food, nutrition, injury, sort of what happens in your body, weight loss, all those things, but we're not taught about what happens to the rest of our body when this part, the emotional center of the brain, which is up here, what happens then. So over time, like, you may have had trauma growing up, a lot of stress, a lot of stuff going on in your household, stuff going on at school. You might have been bullied. It could be as a teenager, it could be only in the last year. But when we don't process and manage our emotions, and we don't use tools or practices to unblock those, and we just ignore the emotion, it'll go away, or we shut everything down, we push it down, we don't cry, we don't laugh. It manifests into anger, it manifests into physical problems in the body. So in your body, we have a masculine and feminine energy, right? And the feminine energy is on the left and the masculine energy is on the right. So if you have an imbalance in your energy, you have too much, you're too masculine heavy or you're too feminine heavy, you can have, issues going on in a certain side of your body. Or if you have issues with your paternal side, your father's side of the family, you can have issues on the right side of your body. Same as if you have mother issues, the left side of your body can be affected. So we also store emotions in certain parts of our body, particularly the hip area. We store certain emotions like grief in our chest. So if you struggle to breathe or take deep breaths, your emotion, that grief can be stuck right in there. So there's some really good ways to try and bring out our emotions. Like, sometimes when we don't release emotions enough, we get headaches, migraines. If you're feeling the weight of the world, you can end up with sore shoulders, sore back. There's a lot of things that manifest in your body if you do not release all your emotions. There's nothing wrong with laughing and being happy all the time. There's nothing wrong with crying or being sad. And sometimes, as a society, we shut down what we call negative emotions, and they're not necessarily negative emotions to be upset. If somebody upsets you, it's okay. You're allowed to be upset. I think, as today we get a bit too upset over things. We can be a bit sensitive, but over the years and years of not processing your emotions and not releasing them properly, not acknowledging, shutting down your feelings, it can all manifest in your body. Your thyroid and autoimmune disease is not caused by unprocessed emotions, but what it does, it makes your condition worse because it stimulates your fight or flight response as a form of protection in your body. And that fight or flight response is in your adrenals, where you are overstimulating them to produce excess adrenaline and cortisol. So you've got this surge going through your body all the time, and your liver has to detox that excess adrenaline and cortisol. So it's working overtime. Plus, it's got to detox everything else, all your other hormones, all the food that you eat, everything that you smell, everything that you put on your skin, all your blood, everything has to be detoxed in your liver. So when you are adding unnecessary adrenaline and cortisol to that mix, it makes it an even harder job. Plus, this protection mode that is happening, this fight or flight response, can cause inflammation in the body and excess weight around the middle, because that's protecting you from outside threats, basically. This is something that, we are built. This is how we are built. This is how we are made. Our body does this naturally. So this is where talking about emotion, not just talking, but doing the emotional work, processing the emotions, allowing them to hit you, allowing them to come. There's nothing wrong with, if you have a marriage breakdown, that you go through a grief process, or if you have a friend, you lose a friendship, there's nothing wrong with grieving that friendship or being upset about it or being pissed off about it. There's nothing wrong with processing emotions externally, and there are some things that you can do, like somatic exercises, yoga, meditation, breathing exercises, grounding outside, taking your shoes off and walking through natural earth like the beach, or walking through running water. Running water is amazing because it has an awesome vibration and energy, and it will help drag the negative energy out of your body and wash it away. Even standing in the shower and envisioning, what is wrong with envisioning? No, can't even say it. No, envisioning the water pulling out the negative emotions out of your body and washing it down the shower drain, basically. So that water is an element that we have in our body. So we resonate. Our body resonates with it a lot. So getting into water is a super, super fantastic way of raising your vibration and help cleansing emotions. If I feel like crap or I'm having an emotional time, I need to get down to the beach. The sunshine is perfect for, helping you release emotions. It's nourishing to the body. It's our life force energy. Then, the natural earth, the sand, it has its own vibration and its own positive energy that you take on through the soles of your feet, and then the water. There's nothing more cleansing than doing those things. So you choose how you like. You can Google, you can go through anything. I always add an emotional section to my clients' programs that they need to work on, because all of them have emotional things that they need to work through. So we always do practices that are going to help their emotional health, help calm their adrenals and reduce that surge of constant cortisol and adrenaline that they have going through their body for years and years. Like, you could have lived in fight or flight your whole life. I did. And it definitely changes your personality. It definitely changes how you sleep. It changes so much about your body. And when we start to gain weight and then we start to restrict ourselves, oh my gosh, I'm going to not eat carbs, I'm not going to eat chocolate, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to have whatever it is, we start to restrict, and then we're causing more problems in the end. It's another form of stress. Our body doesn't like to be restricted. Obviously sometimes we have to cut out some foods when we're healing, but we don't do it in a stressful way. We do it in a way that is going to help us manage our health. And this is why we need to support our emotions while we're healing, because we've got to do things that are different to our body. Like, we've got to add in some new practices, create some new habits. And if you don't work on the emotional side, you're not going to be able to do those. They're going to be extremely hard. I see nutritionists and dietitians and whatever on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is, talking about you've got to have more protein and you're eating too many carbs. That's why you can't lose weight after 40. 99% of the time, it's because you've been on a diet most of your life, you've restricted yourself, and you have a lot of stress in your body. This is what is actually causing your weight gain and why you're struggling. If you are constantly on a diet and restricting yourself, you are going to constantly be on a diet and restrict yourself, because it's just this vicious cycle. You might start to lose weight, but maintaining it is going to be impossible. Forget the diet, eat healthy. I'm a massive healthy nutrition advocate, you know that. But at the same time, working on your mental and emotional health is going to support the healthy eating even better. It's going to be so much easier for you to eat healthy if your mental and emotional health is supported. So weight loss isn't just about what you're eating and following a plan and, weighing your food. I've done all of those things, and I tried every nutrition plan. One, because I wanted to know how it worked in my body. Two, I wanted to lose weight because I was gaining weight rapidly. But three, I also like to be able to explain what happens in your body to you guys so you can understand as well. And basically what it all comes down to is your emotional health. How you can, if you are eating and you're happy with what you're eating and it's, nutritious, then you're going to be a lot better off. If you are starving yourself or if you are eating really crappy food, your mental and emotional health is not going to be good anyway, because it doesn't nourish your body, it doesn't hydrate you, it doesn't make you feel good, you feel terrible after it, so you feel guilty. So eating healthy foods helps your mental and emotional health, and it's sort of like they go hand in hand, your physical and nutrition, then the emotional and mental health practices. So basically everything comes down to your emotional health when we are trying to heal from a chronic illness. Even if you're not healing from a chronic illness, to prevent a chronic illness, because it causes oxidative stress in the body. These free radicals in our body causes oxidative stress, and oxidative stress is the main cause of cancer, autoimmune disease, lots of diseases in the body. So we want to reduce that, and reducing stress is one of them. So if you want some ways to reduce stress, if you want help with practices, if you just find the emotional side too difficult, or you want to balance the physical and emotional, this is where I am an expert. I can help you with this. I do this in programs for people, and I am ready to help you feel better. You will start to feel better if you stick to the program that I give you. And I can tell you right now, it's not a hard program. Anybody who's watching this that is a client of mine, pop it in the comments and tell me, because none of them complain to me about how hard it is. None of them tell me I can't do this. So pop it in the comments if you've one of my clients and you are feeling better, because I know who they are and I know you're feeling better. So I will drop in the comments where you can book this consultation. It's really simple, and it's just one way you're going to start to feel better.